Preparations for the Voltron live-action film adaptation continue to move forward. Now, according to The Hollywood Reporter, a top-class trio is joining the cast of the blockbuster. The stars in question are Sterling K. Brown, Rita Ora, and John Kim. Brown made his Hollywood breakthrough with the drama series This Is Us, and also received an Oscar nomination for his performance in American Fiction. Rita Ora, wife of Taika Waititi, has already appeared in a smaller role as Mia Gray in the 50 Shades film series. John Kim, meanwhile, was able to prove his acting skills in TV series such as Purple Hearts and Cruel Intentions. The lead role will still be played by Hollywood favorite Henry Cavill. And at his side, we'll also get to see newcomer Daniel Quintoy. Voltron is based on the Japanese series Voltron Defender of the Universe. The plot revolves around 5 young pilots who control special robots in the shape of lions. These can unite to form a powerful mega robot called Voltron to take on a tyrannical threat in space. While specific details about the movie's plot are still under wraps, director Rawson Marshall Thurber announced at this year's VoltCon in Indianapolis that the intention is to stay true to the original. Quote, "In this film, we're going to be introducing an entirely new generation of pilots. We've reimagined Voltron for the live-action world, but we're going to stay true to those iconic elements that you love." A release date for Voltron has not yet been. Rumors have been circulating for years, but now it seems to be getting really serious. Marvel Studios is said to be actively working on the development of a movie in which Hulk and Wolverine clash. This is reported by the well-known scooper My Time to Shine Hello, who has proven himself to be a reliable source on several occasions. The idea of an epic duel between the Hulk and Wolverine has its roots deep in the world of Marvel. Wolverine made his debut in 1974 in Incredible Hulk number 180, when he fought the mysterious Department H against the Hulk. By the time the MCU kicked off with Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk in 2008, the Hulk was still one of the franchise's key characters. However, due to some rights problems, the character has not been given his own solo film since then, although he was very prominent in projects such as Thor Ragnarok and She-Hulk. In an interview back in 2014, Hugh Jackman stated that there was no doubt that Wolverine and Hulk would one day face off against each other. After his return in Deadpool and Wolverine, he also seems to have taken a liking to continuing to embody the mutant. Hulk actor Mark Ruffalo is also allegedly not opposed to the crossover. At present, it's still unclear what the planned project will ultimately look like. Will it be a spin-off with the familiar actors, or a sort of new beginning in the MCU? The possibilities are endless. We can't wait to find out. The first plot details for the Highlander reboot with Henry Cavill have been revealed. In an interview with The Direct, John Wick director Chad Stahelski disclosed that the story is set in the Scottish Highlands in the early 1500s. From there, the plot repeatedly jumps to the present day, for example, to New York and Hong Kong. The main character, played by Cavill, has acquired a multitude of martial arts experiences over 500 years. This should set him apart from Christopher Lambert's Highlander, who was mainly a master in sword combat. In addition to the action-packed plot, Stahelski also hinted at a romantic aspect, which already played a central role in the 1986 original. However, he wants to take a new approach that combines the classic elements with a fresh perspective. Quote, "It's a bit of a love story, but not how you think." Filming is scheduled to begin in spring 2025, meaning that a release in 2026 seems possible. There's still no concrete information on the rest of the cast. According to initial rumors, though, it appears that Michael Fassbender will take on the role of the antagonist. News from the eagerly awaited Masters of the Universe live-action film adaptation. According to Deadline, Idris Elba will take on the role of Duncan. Duncan, also known as Man-at-Arms, is more than a mere loyal servant of the royal family of Eternia. As a weapons master, trainer, and advisor at court, he's an indispensable support in the fight against the dark forces. Duncan also has a personal connection to the protagonist of the story. He's the adoptive father of Teela, and is one of the select few who know the secret of Prince Adam and his alter ego He-Man. His brother Fisto is set to play a role in the new Masters of the Universe movie as well. The story revolves around Prince Adam, who as a child makes a crash landing on Earth in a spaceship, and in the process loses the magical Power Sword. 2 decades later, he recovers the sword and returns to Eternia. However, his home planet is in a grim situation. The tyrannical Skeletor and his army are causing chaos and terror. The main role of Prince Adam will be played by Nicholas Galitzine, Known for the romantic comedy The Idea of You, Riverdale actress Camila Mendes will play the role of Tila, and it's not yet known who will play Skeletor, but we'll get to see Alison Brie as his deputy, Evil Lynn. The film will be directed by Travis Knight, with the screenplay coming from Paranorman author Chris Butler. Masters of the Universe will be released in theaters on June 5th, 2026. There's no time for retirement. Denzel Washington is returning as ex-Marine Robert McCall to keep maintaining law and order in the future, as two new The Equalizer movies are currently in the pipeline. This was revealed by Washington in an interview with Esquire, and for some, this announcement may well come as a surprise. After all, many consider The Equalizer 3 to be the final installment in the series. Nevertheless, the global box office takings of $190 million on a production budget of around $70 million prove that fans want more, and Washington is ready to do his part. Quote, "People love those doggone equalizers. They want me to go get the bad guys." However, it's unclear whether the new movies will be directed by Antoine Fuqua again. In the past, he officially described The Equalizer 3 as the conclusion of the franchise. There are no concrete details about The Equalizer 4 and The Equalizer 5 yet, but according to Washington's statements, it seems that work is well underway. Golden days for Spider-Man fans. Filming on Spider-Man 4 is set to kick off next summer, and there's a big role for Peter Parker in the upcoming Avengers sequels. Only Miles Morales in the next Spider-Verse film had to face difficulties. The theatrical release of Part 3 was originally planned for spring 2024, but since then, things around the project had gone quiet. Until now, as a new teaser promises a big announcement. The reason for the recent excitement surrounding the sequel to the animated series is a giant light installation in New York's Chelsea district. What can be seen is a giant Spider-Verse logo. Normally, such campaigns are launched shortly before a major presentation. For example, at the Comic-Con experience. Indeed, the next Comic-Con experience will take place in early December. The announcement of the new, official theatrical release of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is of course an obvious move. Perhaps we can even expect a first teaser trailer. We'll keep you up to date. Time for a new installment of Jurassic World. After the first images of Jurassic World 4 Rebirth were revealed in September of this year, Empire is now following up with another image. Leading actress Scarlett Johansson is shown hunting dinosaurs, apparently equipped with a tranquilizer gun. Now, this fits well with the current clues about the plot. It revolves around Zora Bennett, an experienced specialist in covert operations who is leading a dangerous mission. Her team is tasked with securing the genetic material of 3 powerful dinosaurs. And naturally, things go wrong in the process, and a fight of survival begins on a secluded island. Director Gareth Edwards also revealed that Jurassic World Rebirth will be based on the first Jurassic Park film by Steven Spielberg. This means diverse locations and exciting action scenes. He further hinted that some iconic dinosaurs must not be missing. So we can presumably look forward to meeting the T-Rex and the Raptors one more time. Besides Scarlett Johansson, the cast also includes Bridgerton star Jonathan Bailey, Oscar winner Mahershala Ali, and Alita villain Ed Skrein. The movie will be released in movie theaters on July 2nd, 2025. Fans of League of Legends are in for a treat. Although the successful series Arcane has officially come to a close with its second season, there's no reason to be sad. In fact, the next animated series is currently in the works. In a Twitch interview with streamer Necrit94, Arcane showrunner Christian Link revealed the plans are being made for a number of different adaptations. The intention is to explore the regions of Ionia, Noxus, and Demacia. The decision to choose these regions appears logical, as they're not only among the oldest and most extensive in the League of Legends storyline, but also offer great potential for captivating narratives. Ionia is characterized by a deep balance between nature and spirituality, which has been shaken by a brutal war. In Noxus, power struggles between the secret organization the Black Rose and the visionary ruler Swain are the main focus. In the kingdom of Demacia, justice, honor, and a sense of duty prevail. Details of a planned release have not been announced yet. However, given the 3-year production time between the 2 seasons of Arcane, it's likely that we'll need to remain patient for quite some time. Hard-hitting action guaranteed. Bob Odenkirk will once again provide law and order in Nobody 2, and we now have a first look at the action hero. It should come as no surprise that the sequel will also be full of uncompromising action. Fittingly, we see Bob Odenkirk in the role of Hutch Mansell, covered in blood and armed with a submachine gun. Director Timo Chianto told Empire magazine that Nobody 2 will be much more colorful and summery than its predecessor, whatever that may mean. Apparently, they're planning to distance themselves from the gloomier approach of Nobody and give the character a new look. Alongside Bob Odenkirk, we'll also get to see Connie Nielsen, Sharon Stone, John Ortiz, and of course Christopher Lloyd, who already played the father of Odenkirk's character in the previous film. The movie has already completed filming and will be released in theaters on August 15th, 2025. Paramount Pictures and Ryan Reynolds are teaming up once again. Together, they want to adapt a true cartoon classic for the big screen. The talk is of Mighty Mouse. As Variety reports, author Matt Lieberman, who has already worked with Reynolds on Free Guy, has been confirmed for the project. And he's not an unknown in the field of animation. His previous projects include Scoob and The Addams Family. Ryan Reynolds will be involved in the movie with his production company Maximum Effort Productions. Mighty Mouse came into being in 1942 with the short film The Mouse of Tomorrow. The little superhero, who was originally intended as a parody of Superman, quickly became a crowd favorite. And in the decades that followed, Mighty Mouse appeared in numerous short films and a popular animated series. There's no release date yet, and the director's position remains open for the time being. Nearly 15 years after Tron Legacy, the eagerly awaited sequel Tron Ares will be released next year. Now, a first image has been published via the trade magazine Empire. The picture reveals a masked figure in the typical look of the films. The red stripes of light promise anything but a radiant hero. And the background is also exciting. While the construction behind the person appears with the same design, both seem to be in a kind of factory in the real world. Unlike its predecessor, Tron Ares is not a direct sequel, but rather a reboot of the series. The film focuses on Jared Leto as Ares, a program that takes the bold step of leaving the digital sphere and entering the real world. In addition, the futuristic soundtrack will once again play a key role. This time, the industrial rock band 9 Inch Nails will be responsible for it. Alongside Jared Leto, we'll also get to see Evan Peters, known as Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. Yellow Jackets actress Sarah Desjardins and X-Files icon Gillian Anderson have been cast in the project as well. The film will be directed by Joachim Roning, and the screenplay is by author Jesse Wigatow, who was already responsible for this year's reboot of The Crow. This should certainly raise some red flags. After all, the reboot wasn't very well received by audiences. On October 10th, 2025, however, we'll be able to see Tron Ares for ourselves in cinemas. When Christopher Nolan calls, they all show up. His next movie already has a phenomenal cast. Among the stars are Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, and Zendaya. Now The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed the next big name to join the project, Robert Pattinson. Like many of his colleagues, the actor is no stranger to Nolan. In 2020, he already played one of the leading roles in Tenet, and to this day, many people think of him only for his performance in the Twilight films. However, Pattinson has repeatedly attracted attention in recent years with special characters, whether in artistic works such as Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse, or as the new Dark Knight in The Batman. Christopher Nolan's new movie is scheduled for release in theaters on July 17th, 2026. And as usual, the details are still strictly under wraps. Rumors have suggested everything, from a historical vampire horror film to a helicopter action thriller. We're all very excited. So, after much speculation, the Young Avengers project is apparently finally in the works, albeit in a slightly different form. Instead of a movie about the young superheroes, it's now expected to become a series. According to a number of well-known insiders, including Daniel Rickman and Alex Perez, the entire project will not be released under the name Young Avengers, but as Champions. This title comes from the comics, in which Ms. Marvel, Miles Morales, and other young heroes form their own team. This team also includes Ironheart, Patriot, and Teddy Altman as Hulkling. Now, the concept of the Young Avengers runs like a common thread through the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Many young heroes have been introduced in recent years, including Ms. Marvel and Kate Bishop. Among them are also Billy and Tommy, the sons of Wanda Maximoff. The series is aimed at building a crucial connection between the current multiverse saga and the upcoming mutant saga. In it, the champions set off in search of Monica Rambeau, who has disappeared in a parallel universe. However, we will have to wait for a while. This series will probably not be released until after the next big MCU blockbusters, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So not before 2027 or early 2028 at the earliest. The Four Horsemen return. Lionsgate confirmed via X that filming on Now You See Me 3 has been completed. And there's also a number of set photos. It features the likes of Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, Justice Smith, and Barbie actress Ariana Greenblatt, who obviously had lots of fun during production. But of course, we'll also be able to see Jesse Eisenberg and Mark Ruffalo in their roles again. While precise plot details are still being kept under wraps, there are some clues to what we can expect in Now You See Me 3. Rumors suggest a reboot of the series, with a new generation of magicians possibly following in the footsteps of the Horsemen. The movie will be directed by Ruben Fleischer, who previously directed the Zombie Man films and the first Venom part with Tom Hardy. The writer is Eric Warren Singer, who worked on American Hustle and Top Gun Maverick. Despite mixed reviews, the first two movies were a huge success, and the ending of Now You See Me 2 may have also contributed to the fact that fans are eagerly anticipating another installment. The release date is currently set for November 14th, 2025. After waiting a period of over 13 years, it seems that things are finally moving forward. A new script version for Sherlock Holmes 3 is now on the table. The first two Sherlock Holmes movies starring Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law were a huge success. In fact, combined they grossed over $1 billion. So a third part was therefore as good as certain, but it's yet to be made. But now there's reason for hope. In an interview with The Playlist, Watson actor Jude Law revealed that a new version of the script was finally available. He also emphasized that everyone involved is still committed to making Part 3. However, there are still some unresolved matters, such as the production costs and the feasibility of the project. The long-lasting friendship with Robert Downey Jr. and his wife Susan is one of the main reasons for Law to be involved in the third part of the detective saga. Nevertheless, we'll probably need to remain patient for a while longer. The director's position is still vacant, and Robert Downey Jr. should have enough on his plate with the role as Dr. Doom in the MCU for the time being anyway. Golden days for Spider-Man fans. Filming on Spider-Man 4 is set to kick off next summer, and there's a big role for Peter Parker in the upcoming Avengers sequels. Only Miles Morales in the next Spider-Verse film had to face difficulties. The theatrical release of Part 3 was originally planned for spring 2024, but since then, things around the project had gone quiet. Until now, as a new teaser promises a big announcement. The reason for the recent excitement surrounding the sequel to the animated series is a giant light installation in New York's Chelsea district. What can be seen is a giant Spider-Verse logo. Normally, such campaigns are launched shortly before a major presentation. For example, at the Comic-Con experience. Indeed, the next Comic-Con experience will take place in early December. The announcement of the new, official theatrical release of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is of course an obvious move. Perhaps we can even expect a first teaser trailer. We'll keep you up to date.